So today Venus goes direct. It is out of retrograde, which is dope. Which is pretty much a go on love life, right? But also keep in mind Mercury is still in retrograde. Therefore, don't go back to exes. That's what's recommended at least. The past will come up. It probably already has been coming up, and so the advice is if you are gonna go into a romantic situation, let it be a new person. So yeah, then Jupiter goes retrograde tomorrow, which is all about decision making, critical thought, so like probably not gonna make the best decisions between like September 4th and December 30th unless you really give it some thought and really weigh it out. Don't just be impulsive. Your impulsive decisions probably not going to be the best ones. So, focus on the ones that are not so impulsive. The decisions that you really think out, do the pros and cons and all that. These overalls always feel awkward when I'm sitting. So deal with it. I brought my wand that I supercharged under the super moon. And this is my first time touching it since it was all charged up. I also charged it in the sun. So I don't know, I like the energy, so I'm gonna vibe with it today. Right now, the moon is at like 83.7 or 87.3% illumination, one of the two, in Taurus, going into our third quarter moon in Taurus tomorrow. So, with Taurus is all about like groundedness. Every Taurus I know, they like lists, right? They like planning things out and all that. And so you might be in the energy of like planning, strategizing. With all these planets in retrograde though, I definitely recommend like really expect delays, expect setbacks. When you expect them, then they're not so disappointing when they happen, just, like, by all means, continue planning and thinking, and manifesting and all those things. Just be aware of the energy, right? So, without further ado, let's get on with the reading. See what's in store for you. Oh, also Uranus will be the last planet, or not Uranus, Jupiter will be the last planet to go retrograde this year. So, yay. I mean, there's, gonna be a lot of energy with a lot of these planets being in retrograde throughout the rest of the year as well. So, there's that. Alright, let's see who you are, what your energy is today, what guidance you need today, what messages Spirit has for you. Air element. You could be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Or you could just be very in your head, because this is all about philosophy, discernment, and empathy. So, I feel that, you could be up in your head, up in your little hot air balloon, make sure that you're not filling yourself full of hot air. I'm feeling that, sometimes we overthink, or we, allow our thoughts to, it's almost like, how do I put this? kind of let our thoughts run the show, and sometimes it's better to just kind of sit back and take life as it comes. Take the experience as they come. You're not new to this. Right? You're not new to this. That's a big one. This is, you've had disappointments before, right? You survived. You did fine. You've had setbacks. You survived. You were fine. You've been late to things, and guess what? You survived and you're fine. And I feel like you have to. It kind of reminds me of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, because he talks about, like, expect that people are going to be shitty. Expect that there's going to be unfortunate circumstances. Expect that things happen. And it's not so much about, not experiencing those things, but having a better mindset when you do experience those things, so that they're not so dramatic. Right? You have Alpha Draconians. Ooh, here's where the pensiveness can be. If you notice, he's like dressed up like a pope, but he's like really a reptile under there. This is all about corruptions, cults, unethical behaviors. So you could be, dealing with certain individuals that are masking, right? They present themselves one way, and then, but the reality is that they're two-faced, right? You could be using your discernment and discerning these people, because I do see you very pensive and really focusing on your personal philosophy here. We have mantis beings. Enigma, elusive, insensitive. Yeah, you're sensitive to these energies. You could be like really trying to evade or avoid them at this time. You could be leaving friend groups or workplace situations, cults, religious institutions, whatever the case. There's this energy of being very thoughtful and like really making a choice and a point to think for yourself, right? Syrians B, responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. Through this experience, you are growing, and you might even be maturing through this experience. Shoot, I'm like 32, right? And I feel like I've only just now started behaving like an adult, right? And it's weird. I don't love it, but I left Wonderland, and I was like, time to be a grown. So you could also be experiencing something, I with the collective consciousness, I believe that, like, that could be part of why, you even found this video to begin with, right? You met my frequency. And when you meet my frequency, then that's where you find my videos. So there's a lot of thoughtfulness here. Use your discernment, Be very picky and choosy about the people you surround yourself with. Don't allow other people to dictate your thoughts, your philosophies, your values. These are things that you need to establish on your own for yourself, right? When other people have a say in your morals, your values, your things, then it's not really your thinking, right? It's not really your stance, you're just, and I think that that, and you're trying to discern for yourself what your philosophy is, what path you want to go down, what path is right for you, I'm going to use my Wonderland Tarot deck. I know I said we're leaving Wonderland, However, it's so nostalgic. I can never sit right, so just bear with me. Okay. Hey, I hope I'm bisexual. I always sit weird. But, yeah, so let's see. Feeling a sense of rootedness. It could be partially because my feet are currently sitting on a crystal, but this rooted, grounded energy. In this reading, I feel like you're grounding. You're finding your roots. Haters gonna hate, but you ain't gotta participate. That's what I'm hearing. Alright. So far, so good. Yeah, we've got Five of Swords. There are multiple people here that I feel that you feel defensive about. Like you have to protect yourself, your stance. There could be a lot of jealous or gossipy energies that you've dealt with in your recent past. With the Knight of Swords in reverse and Page of Wands in reverse, I feel like you are not necessarily jumping in to fight them, right? Or to like, what is the word? Like, you're not being defensive in that sense. You're not trying to like go and be like, well, I heard you say da 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 and blah 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 blah. It's like rather than that, you're taking yourself out of that situation. Five of Swords. If you notice, these flamingos, they represent swords in this deck. But if you notice these dudes in the back, right, they're all soldiers, and these are the enemy warriors, and they all have their backs turned, and it's like, okay, while they're distracted with that, while they're over there looking at other things, this dude is like, I'm gonna grab all these weapons up, anything that they can use against me. And this brings to mind that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, right? So that's one of my favorite scriptures, actually. And it's been really prominent in a lot of things lately. I've been seeing it everywhere. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And so, I feel like you don't even need to get defensive. You don't even need to fight with these people. You don't need to bring your sword in, your communications. You ain't gotta do all that, because I feel that you know that you're protected through this situation. People might judge, right? The decision that you're making. Especially if you're leaving like a religious institution or something, they might be like, oh, they're worldly now, and and you could be like, well, I just found another path. That doesn't necessarily mean shit, like in that regard. Like, religion is a group deciding and agreeing upon their idea of what God is, right? Whereas spirituality is a one-on-one relationship, and you don't necessarily need a group for that, right? I don't need a whole group of people so that I can have a one-on-one relationship with my parents, right? Like, so why would I need that for God? God is a parent, and so, and what isn't God too, right? Like, I love that. What is not God? Everything is God. So, and when you know that, then it, really alleviates that. If you decide to walk your own path in regards to friend groups, they might be like, oh, well, this person thinks they're too good for us now, and whatever. Like, let them say it, let them think it. If you're walking away, if you're ending communication, Page of Wands in reverse, then it doesn't actually fucking matter what they say, right? You ain't gonna be there to hear it. Like I said in the beginning of this, like, haters gonna hate. You don't have to participate. So it's like, don't participate. Don't even give it an energetic, don't even give it your energy. If all they have to do with their time is hate on you, then that shows a lot about them, right? It shows a lot about them if they just have all this time and energy to give to hating on you, to judging you, to whatever. It shows a lot about them, because you ain't got that kind of time and energy, right? Because I'm seeing the Hanged Man in reverse. This action of walking away and ending these communications is actually taking away blockages for you. It's taking away the things that are actually holding up your progress. So it's actually really a blessing here. And with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm seeing a gift from God, right? You see that divine hand bringing this giant pentacle. It's a gift from God, right? That's a divine gift. A new opportunity, a new life cycle, right? A new, just a new, right? Everything's new. You ain't got time for that old ass energy. And people value, like high value people, they notice that people who have nothing better to do with their time than to sit there and hate on other people are not necessarily high value people. So other people are not going to value the words of them. The ones that just have nothing better to do than to think and speak hatred. Like, people understand that, and they're like, you know what, like, that person's actually not talking about you at all. That person is not, doing any of these things, and people will see that and see the contents of your character, right? And, it'll just ultimately make them look worse because they're sitting there in that very petty and immature energy. So pay no mind. Alright, let's talk about this gift from God, this divine new cycle. Or source, or whatever, some people don't like calling it God. I don't care. I don't care. We call it whatever, we have so many names for it. Energy, source, spirit, the divine. It's all God, right? So I just call it what it be like. Ace of Pentacles. The biggest pentacle in the deck. What are you getting? The gift of discernment. King of Cups, the King of Love. So there could be a love offer coming through. With the Three of Wands in reverse and Temperance in reverse, it's like, your time of waiting for something is over, right? So either you're showing up in this very loving and very mature energy, or somebody else is, and somebody else sees you, and they want to extend an offer here. What I'm also seeing, though, because I don't feel a whole lot of romance coming out of this, I feel kind of that like authentic And it's funny that I would separate romance from authentic love. But the reason that I do is because partners come and go, you know? And somebody who can sit there and say that they're in love with you could walk away, next week. They could just be done next week. And then, bam, the entire connection is gone. What I mean by authentic love is something that's not so temporal, right? Seeing that temperance in reverse. It's not so temporary. It transcends time, actually. Real, authentic love is always there, no matter how much time has passed, you know. That's why, like, you might have a best friend that loves you, genuinely loves you, and stays in your life forever, versus, a partner who loves what they get being with you, right? They love the sex or they love the whatever, but that's quite selfish love because it's still about what they're getting, right? Not about what they're giving. And so I feel like you are in a time now where you're experiencing authentic love in your friendships, with your discernment, discerning who authentically loves you, who authentically shows up for you. And who's got to be left behind. You're also discerning that because that's also a gift, Because with the world in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse, it's like some people just won't change. Some people have no desire to change, right? They love their misery, right? Like it's a trend, like it's a fad to be miserable and, to kind of just always have that really glum energy about them. And how unfortunate, right? How unfortunate that they love their misery, that they've come to grow so attached to it. Because, yeah, and it's like, and even that is part of your gift because in this energy of, King of Cups is also very intuitive, right? The King of Cups feels everything, feels all the energy, feels all the intentions, feels. So you're discerning here who's showing up in authentic love for you, and you're discerning here who is showing up inauthentically, people who are very two-faced or very, like, in it for personal gain or whatever. Like, you're able to discern that, and that is your gift, right? And with the Emperor in reverse, see, because I'm seeing the King of Cups in the upright. So that's how I know that this is another energy, right? Whether you're male, female, whatever, but this Emperor in reverse, showing up with the Seven of Swords and the World in reverse, is like, there's, this could be a boss, especially with, or like a leader of some sort that is kind of stuck in their ways and unchanging. Especially with the Alpha Draconians card that came out, that person dressed up as like a leader of sorts. Could be a parental figure as well. But it's like there's also this like false energy to them, right? Because this emperor is not a real emperor, right? With it being in reverse, it's actually the opposite. This is somebody who lacks leadership skills. This is somebody who is inauthentic. This is somebody who likes the image but doesn't know how to actually play the role, right? It's like a facade. This is just somebody whose very existence is deceptive. The very nature of their existence is deceptive. with the Hermit in reverse. And you have a bunch of signs popping up right now. You got Sagittarius, Aries, Virgo. You got a bunch of signs. So I'm not going to focus too heavily on the zodiac signs today because I'm feeling more the energy of the cards. And what I'm seeing here with the Hermit in reverse is you're going to be required to leave your comfort zone, right? You're going to be required to kind of you have to do something new. You have to leave your comfort zone. You have to do something that's so unexpected of you. All right? If you were in a period of isolation, it's time to come out of isolation. However, not necessarily with, those negative people, because you're using your discernment now. It's like right now, you're coming out of isolation so that you can be helpful to those that are showing up in authentic love, the ones that you don't have to feel defensive around or protect your name from, right? It's too far. Yeah, I'm feeling that like there could be people who really pretend to have like your best interest at heart, but underneath it all, it's like just darkness, right? Bad intentions, ill will. These people are going to stick out like a sore thumb to you. And they don't even realize it. They think that they blend in, right? They think that they're going unobserved or unseen. But it's like, no, I see you. I'm just not going to fight with you. You're not worth that. You're just going to cut them off. Judgment. You're going to cut those fools off. It's like Spirit is highlighting the people that, it's like Spirit's highlighting these people for you. So you can just see it. You can just know it. You can just feel it. You might catch it in snide remarks or in like sideways looks. You might catch it in the most random thing, even like posting online. You might notice like, somebody, they had a weird reaction or weird response to something that you posted, and you're like, oh, I see you. I see you. And it could be so covert, so tiny, but it's like it sticks out like a sore thumb, and Spirit's like, see that? Did you notice that? Right there, They think they're very sneaky. Why are they observing you so hard if they hate you, right? Let's talk about that though. Why are haters obsessed? They may as well just admit that they're in love with you at that point, right? Because, that kind of obsession with somebody that you don't like, that's crazy. That's insane, actually. Four of Swords in reverse with the King of Pentacles. Yeah. With the Four of Swords in reverse, this is like, it ain't a time for leisure. Right now is a time to get to work. It's time to get real productive. really focused. Especially with that King of Pentacles, it's like I see a time of abundance coming up for you, right? And anything that was blocking your abundance is being, especially with that Hanged Man in reverse, it's being lifted from your life. It's funny. I one time had gifted somebody a selenite wand. A little tiny guy though, just a little. Um, and they were having a bad day, and I was like, this should help. And I swear, I've never ever seen anything like it. It's like she had it, and she was fiddling with it, and she just kept, playing with it, and it just cracked in her hand, right? From all the negative energy, that was being put into it from like her experiencing this really bad day. And I think back on that a lot. Um, because it's not necessarily that she was a bad person, right? We all have those times when we have, really heavy energy, right? And it doesn't mean that somebody's bad. However, if their energy is like that, you're gonna feel it, right? In the same way that if a selenite wand can respond to that much energy, selenite wand, the highest vibrating crystal you can get your hands on, right? If it's going to respond in that way to so much negative energy just kind of being thrown into it at once, like imagine how you're going to feel when you're around negative energy, especially with this gift of discernment. It's going to feel like you're choking, right? You're going to feel suffocated in it. You're going to feel like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, right? And so, like, and that's something that other people who don't have that gift wouldn't understand, like, because, when it's that heavy, you literally just feel like, I gotta get the hell out of here, and you will get the hell out of there. Because their energy serves as a warning. Like, get the hell out now, right? Before it gets worse, especially if they're entertaining this. If they're entertaining it and letting it live in them, right? Because that's, to me, true possession. When you allow negative energy to live inside of you, that's being possessed, right? That's really it. And their entire everything becomes plagued by it, right? Everything that they speak becomes complaint, or becomes gossip, or it's, some sort of hate speech. Every thought that they think is always on the negative end of the spectrum, because they're allowing negative energy to dwell in them, right? They're allowing demons to dwell in them. When we talk about, like things like obsession or addiction and things like that, we always call it their demons, right? Or, when you're doing shadow work and you're like, yeah, I'm confronting my demons. You have to think, like, those very things that you're identifying as demons are the negativity that people are allowing to dwell inside of them, right? So it's like you recognize it on a subconscious level. You recognize it, but it's like to really like see it for what it is. That's the hard part, because the ego doesn't want to recognize that there's a demon of negativity dwelling inside of you, right? So let's see. Four of Cups in reverse. Upon acceptance, right? This is like, upon accepting something here, there are sacrifices, okay? Because I'm looking at that Ace of Pentacles with this Four of Cups in reverse, and I'm seeing that upon accepting this, with the card that followed out, like, you understand the task at hand here. You understand that certain things have to be cut out. We kind of already have brushed up on that. But it's also a bit of a sacrifice, right? With this acceptance, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. This is letting go of friends. This is maybe no longer going out and partying. Maybe if you were going to bars a lot, or, drinking, drugging, whatever you were doing, I see that you accept that, like, with this gift of discernment, that certain environments, certain people have to be cut out of your life because it literally feels like you're suffocating around certain energies. It literally is so negative. And so, that you are making the choice to separate yourself from these energies, right? You are making the choice to no longer entertain these friendships or these environments, and you're like, look, dog, I'm way up here. All right, I'm way up here. So if you want to come to my level, that's fine, but I'm not going down there to meet you at the level that you're at right now, right? And that's kind of, it's standing your ground and setting your boundaries too. Like, that you're not willing to accept certain behaviors, certain environments, certain mindsets, certain energies, that ain't for you. Set apart, right? In this world, but not of this world. You are being set apart by divine. People aren't going to be happy about it. Because the second you get set apart, they realize that means that they're being left behind, right? From your life, from your energy that they were siphoning, right? They had a great time siphoning your energy. These succubi, these incubi, these narcissists, these sociopaths. They had a great time. It was like a feeding frenzy for them, right? To just siphon your energy. Oh, how demons love to siphon that energy, right? And by demons, I mean literally the things that people call their demons, Oh, man. What a shitty group of people, right? If this is a church, no wonder why you're out. All you found was the devil, right? I think that you should formally have your own little ceremony for yourself, right? Write down all the names, right? Write them all down. And I don't know if you have a burning bowl or even a nice pot works, I've learned. If you don't have a burning bowl, get a pot that you'd normally boil water in, get a pot like that. Write down all their names. And I want you to cut out each name individually, right? And visualize their faces as you do it, right? And as you put their names into the bowl or the pot, thank them for what you've learned from them, for the blessing that they've been in your life, for the lesson that they've been in your life, right? Have gratitude that you encountered them and that you overcame whatever it was that you needed to overcome. And burn it, right? Burn every name in there, right? This is called cord cutting, right? This is one of the oldest ways of doing it. And sever that energetic tie so that they can't reach you again, right? Because they find you by keeping that energetic tie alive. You sever that tie so they can't reach you, because no weapon formed against you shall prosper, right? So you burn that shit up. You burn up the past, right? Even if it's names of places too. Places where you went and you found these energies. Burn that up too, right? Don't ever set foot there ever again. Don't entertain those places, those people, because they were having a feeding frenzy on your good energy. And that's fucked up. I don't like it. And I pray that whatever they wished on you, whatever downfall they had hoped for on you, comes back on them threefold, right? Tenfold. I hope they feel it. The whole weight of everything that they wanted to happen to you, I hope they experience that. From the depths of my soul, I hope they experience that. How dare them? Right? You don't fuck with the chosen, right? And they gonna learn. Anything else before we pull some Kali cards? Knight of Wands in reverse is telling me that you will become unreachable, right? They won't be able to just rush into your life anymore. They won't, those doors of communication are being closed. If you have to even take a break from social media, do what you gotta do, but close those doors, you know? With the High Priestess in reverse, I see doubt, right? Or maybe like even like a part of you that's like that questions like, is this the right choice? Is this the decision? You know, should I stay or should I go? Well, if you have any doubts, don't worry, they will be alleviated. All your doubts, all your worries, all your concerns will be vanished, right? Because if you do make a choice to entertain any of these people, they're just going to show you again why you got to walk away, why you got to leave, and why you got to do this for you. You know, you may as well just like not prolong the process and get on with it, right? We have Eight of Cups in reverse. You've been working too hard to walk away from what you've been building, right? Whether knowingly or unknowingly. right? You're finding your sense of purpose and you can't walk away from that. Or you don't want to walk away from that. You want to walk right into it, right? You want to build up. You want to feel that sense of purpose. You want to have that abundance, that emotional abundance, that financial abundance. You want that security. Two of Pentacles tells me the choice is yours, right? It's not an easy sacrifice, but it's what needs to happen, right? They'll give you every reason to cut them off. Every single one of them. Ten of Wands in reverse, unburden yourself. Quit carrying the weight, the burden. Right? It's holding you up. It's slowing you down. It's eating your wealth. We have the Empress. It is time for you to create. It is time for you to work on your projects, to start your vlogs, to pursue your passions, to do the things that you're called to do. So, on that note, I'm going to grab a message from Kali for you. Corey Debbie, check your boundaries and affirm your right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Embrace your softer side and your ability to stand up for yourself. You are a unique being and you do not need to conform to stereotypes. As you relax into your authentic self, the best method to accomplish what is needed shall spontaneously arise from within. Guya Kali. It is time to realize the true nature of certain life circumstances. Be grateful for what you have learned, but see things for what they are rather than what you wish them to be. You shall be able to recognize, process, and prosper from the truth, and do not need to fear the revelations that are unfolding. So, with that being said, I hope that this is helpful. I look forward to doing more readings for you. I want to see the progress of this. I want to see how it goes. So I will be tapping into your energy again. Just saying. Namaste. Well, I love you guys, and I'll see you later.